about me. You know how I feel when you try to do the right, but you're forced to the wrong. What would you do? My life ain't too cool. I can tell you about my life and it's all true.
Yo, what's good with your family? So I got a few podcasts coming out for you. I've been under the weather a little bit, so you're going to have to bear with me on the congestion and talking out my nozzle area. But I did want to put a few episodes out because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, especially with the reparations conversation with tanahisi-coates and Mitch-McConnell, the Little Mermaid and the racist ass people who crying about a cartoon, Nike and Kaepernick, you know, with the flag and the shoes. And I got a few more other things coming out in the works, but just want to go ahead and let you know that I do have a congested sound in these podcasts, so bear with them. And I hope you enjoy the show. There was something that came up with the reparations with Mitch McConnell or something like that, and tanahisi-coates and some other guy named Hugh Coleman or Cole, something like that. I don't know, but he was just a spokesperson. Actually, he was blackface reading a white man's words. So that's basically what it really was. And I will post up another episode with this conversation taking place, and you can kind of like see he was really just reading what white people were trying to say, but they had to use a black face to make it seem like it was coming from a black community, but I don't really believe it was. So first thing I want to get into is the reparations. You know, some people believe that reparations are the dumbest things ever heard of. You know, they don't really believe that reparations are even justifiable for what took place within America. Those who took other humans and did unspeakable things to them, and also built their whole legacy off of these people, free labor, and not just labor, they're actually their ideas as well, some of their ideas and things like that. But the long story short, there's people out there who don't believe reparations are justifiable. Meanwhile, we have the Japanese Americans who got, I think it was around World War II. They got sent back to Japan or whatnot and sent into internment camps and things of that nature. And you know what? They were compensated for that. Yes, they were compensated for that. They was compensated twice, actually. The first time they compensated, and then like maybe 20 or 40 years later, they got recompensated again. Another situation was the Native Americans. The Native Americans got compensated. They kind of got dicked over, but they still got compensated. Their compensation was like $1,000 per person. That was shitty. But the government excuse was they didn't really feel like the Native Americans were competent enough to handle their own money. Another situation was the Rosewood in Florida. I believe it was Rosewood. They got compensated for the burning down of the black community. And then, not too long ago here in Nashville, there was a reporter. I believe she was a reporter. I'm not really for sure, but she had a stalker who was stalking her, and she was at the hotel, and they didn't let her know that this person was there. I don't think it's their job to let her know that. But at the end of the day, they also didn't let her know that the guy was like sitting in the room next to her, the door right next to her, right? So he ended up having a peephole in her hotel, and was videotaping her while she was in her in her nudeness. They compensated this woman $5 million, $5 million just because someone seen her naked. So for anyone out there, if you listen to me just now, $5 million because a woman got seen naked and placed on the internet, and they justified $5 million for that. So how can you justify $5 million for that? You're paying for her being exposed, bucky ass naked, and you're paying $5 million for that. So if you can't have any complaints about that, or you're not sending any letters to your representatives and your congressmen and your government about paying $5 million to a woman who got seen bucky ass naked, why in the hell do you think it's not justifiable to pay somebody unknown? I mean, hell, she can get $5 million. I don't know what the hell you can give somebody for their babies being ripped apart, for their babies being fed to alligators, for the fathers being killed in front of them, castrated in front of them, for the mother being raped and tortured in front. You can't justify that. You don't see any, because reparations basically is for somebody being paid for or compensated for the wrongdoings, right? So that was called wrongdoing. If you don't consider that wrongdoing, you're not an American. You can pretend to be an American all you want to, but you're not an American. You're not a citizen. You're not a part of the group, because the group is a group, a collective. And if you look away from the collective because somebody's, doing something wrong to somebody you don't agree with, then you're just a shithole. That's what you are. You're a shithole. And, so I don't know where people are getting that reparations are the dumbest thing. And you really just one of those type of people who are just looking for energy. You're looking for energy. You're looking for someone to go back and forth with, even though you're talking stupid, you're talking ignorant, and you know that something needs to be done to be recompensated for. And you're like, well, we can't give everybody, money back. Okay, well, it's fine. If we can't get everybody their money back, how about the corporations that became what they are today based off of the free labor that they received back in the past? How about they give up all of their assets? Because it all started from there, right? So if you can't have an unsaid amount, how about these corporations just forfeit their business over? You don't see that happening. So if you don't see that happening, then you need to figure out how to compensate for the wrongdoing. You recompensated the Japanese, you compensated the Indians, you compensated the Jews. So shit, why can't you compensate African Americans? They were raped, pillaged, stolen. It's all kind of shit. You're like, well, it ain't their fault. It might not be, but that's how things work. If you did a crime, you stole a car, your great grandfather stole a car, and then it's a classic, but they pass it on 3 generations down, and then they find out that this car has been stolen. It's only right that you give that car back to the rightful owner, no matter how many generations it's been in your family. It ain't your shit, right? It ain't your shit, so give it back.